Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving some updates on the new car market. Before we dive into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And then if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Let's get into it. Over the course of the last few months, we have talked about how new car sales are on the rise. There will be more new cars sold in 2023 than what we saw in 2022. And a big part of why this is happening is because, well, production has finally ramped up. It's actually ramped up so much, there are some automakers that have actually overbuilt within certain segments that they sell. And so this has led to us finally seeing discounts on new vehicles from dealerships and from manufacturers, but it's also led to some interesting choices that I'm seeing out and about in the world. So first off, something that is continuing to happen is instead of automakers releasing bigger discounts on vehicles to sell them, they are instead just not building those vehicles anymore. They're idling plants. Like, it seems like it's happening more and more often. And on top of that, they're just instead building other vehicles that are selling. And so it's kind of like this shifting and maneuvering to not release big discounts on vehicles. And so it's a very interesting choice because, again, you have to remember that new car prices have increased by a massive amount over the last few years. And so it's like, you know, there's got to be some level of margin for these automakers to work with where they could release some discounts. But again, they're choosing not to, and I find that really fascinating. And on top of choosing not to release discounts, another thing that I've noticed that's become a lot more common is special edition packages. So obviously, reviewing cars for the main channel, I see a lot of different types of vehicles, and I've noticed that the amount of special edition packages has increased by a massive amount over the course of the last couple of years. And these special edition packages aren't really all that special. That's why I'm putting in quotations, because what automakers will do is they'll maybe just slap a different paint color onto a car, or maybe a few badges to make it seem like it's special, and then they'll charge a big premium for it and only build a limited amount of them. And well, it's actually something that has been working. Now, the way that automakers sell this to the customers that are buying these packages is obviously, you know, the limited availability part of it, but also they'll bundle in a bunch of options with this special package. So like, let's say that a car, you know, without a special package just comes with, you know, air conditioning and power windows and all that, just to make things simple. Well, the special edition package might give the car a special paint job that you cannot get unless you get the special package, and it might add stuff like maybe dual zone climate, maybe a sunroof, maybe it'll also add, you know, heated seats and ventilated seats and a 360 camera. I think you guys get where I'm going. So it's like automakers stuff all of these premium options into this package so they can charge a massive amount for this package and, you know, help people mentally justify paying the higher prices. But this is a way for automakers to sell vehicles and sell them at higher prices, and it's only increasing as time goes on. So I find that part of it absolutely fascinating. And then the next trend that is happening within the new car market is there's more and more shopping. What I'm hearing from dealers is that they're getting more calls from people that are out of their market and out of their state in general. And this is only increasing as time is going on because people are shopping like what they used to do, you know, prior to the pandemic. Again, when the pandemic happened, there was no inventory. And so it's like you just get a car wherever you can get it. Whereas now that there's inventory everywhere, what people are now doing is, well, they have so many options. So they're going and calling as many dealers as they can to see who has the lowest prices on these vehicles. And so it's an interesting trend in the car market, and it's a trend that I think dealers really need to follow, because if they don't, they're going to definitely fall behind. Because if you're a dealer that isn't willing to do out-of-state deals, you're potentially like losing a lot of potential customers, right? A lot of potential car deals. And then if you're a dealer that is not working with your local customers, right, then you're going to be losing a lot of car deals to other dealers out of state, out of your market. And so I think that this is something that dealers need to seriously like look into quite a bit if they want to obviously increase sales over this time period and also not lose sales to other dealers, because again, it's turned into a buyer's market. Buyers now have options. So those are some of the major market trends that I'm noticing within the new car market. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about these trends. And my personal take on this whole situation is, well, when it comes to automakers deciding to not discount vehicles and instead build other vehicles that people are buying, I actually think that that makes quite a bit of logical sense. Now, completely idling plants and just not building vehicles, I mean, the automakers can do what the automakers are going to do, but I think that volume is always the route to go. And I mean, on a smaller scale, when I see dealers that focus on volume rather than trying to maximize profitability on a per car basis, the volume dealers almost always win in the long term. And so I think that if automakers have that same mentality, I know it's on a much larger scale, I think it'll also help them in the long term. So just keep building cars, right? That's what automakers are supposed to do. Just build cars, and if they're not selling, put some discounts on those cars until they sell. And then with the special edition packages, it's kind of a funny situation. But what I'd have to say is, I think that making special edition packages actually special is something that automakers should focus on. So offer options that aren't available on the regular car, more than just some badges and, maybe a special paint job. Again, I understand that there is a group of people that'll pay for it, but that is becoming super oversaturated, and it's getting to the point where I'm seeing these special editions not selling, and it's like, oh, limited quantity, get it now while it's still hot. And it's like, okay, good luck selling that thing. And then finally, when it comes to people shopping around more, this is the thing that I find the most interesting and that I think needs to be looked into the most, because this is a complete shift in what we've seen over the last couple of years within the car market. Because, well, people were shopping around over the last couple of years, but it was because they were just trying to find cars. And now when people are shopping around for deals, that just creates a completely different dynamic. And so that means that, dealerships need to kind of like retrain their staff on how to talk to these customers that are now shopping not based on availability, but based on price. I'll see you.